Okay, I went ahead and installed this dynatek 2000 ignition on this bike. That Ultima was running on one cylinder and it just wasn't, it never ran right, truthfully. Well, it did when we first got it, but shortly after that, it started dropping a cylinder now and then, and you could hear it. Tried replacing the coil on it, and it just quit where it had no spark whatsoever. So I put the Dyna 2000 because I've used a lot of Dyna 2000s over the years, and it has a lot nicer features than the Ultima. It's programmable on a laptop. It's also got data logging in there. It's more finely tuned the rev limiter on there. You got front and rear cylinder offset and the plate there. Pretty much infinitely adjustable. I went with the dual fire on here. So with the dual fire, what you got instead of single fire, you've got basically you got two wires going to the coil here. You got your power wire, which is the white, going to the white for the off the ignition, off of the dyno ignition, and the white coming off of your power off of the bike, which ultimately comes out of the kill switch here. And then the other wire is the pink wire going to the dyno ignition down there, which makes it single fire. You've got a blue wire over here that I'm not using, so I've got it tucked off because they tell you not to use the blue wire. I guess that's the if you're running the single fire. So two wires, white for the power, pink for the pickup going down to the ignition box there. And then you've got the violet wire. I'm not running a VOES, so they tell you to ground the violet wire permanently, or you'll run in a, I can't say that word, you'll run in the not advanced mode. That sounds absolutely stupid. Or probably can't say stupid either. But, so you run it in the not advanced mode if you don't ground the violet wire. That's about it. I would recommend on these wires here, I haven't permanently mounted these yet, but when you're putting these little ring terminals on here, I'd recommend using like a glue type heat shrink. Well, I recommend crimping them and then soldering them first, and then do your glue type heat shrink on the ends. Also, put a little, once you got everything on there, your little nuts tightened, put a little dab of black silicone on there. Then probably use not probably, you can use make it double safe, use a star washer up under the nut. And star washer and a little bead of silicone on there. I have had them come loose at the racetrack, and it tends to fry ignition systems when that stuff comes loose. You know, and you don't want that stuff happening when you're out in the middle of nowhere and it loses contact and burns up your ignition. Although the dyno does have a better circuit protection than just about anything else as far as interruption spark there, or interruption of power. So pink wire going down to the box here, and I need to take all this stuff back already. I already had it running, and for whatever reason my microphone, probably I forgot to charge it, so I got done making like a 35-minute video and had about 10 minutes of audio on it. So yeah, stupid me. Anyway, let me get the stuff off here and I'll show you how to set the timing on this thing. Okay, so you need to take your timing hole plug out of there. And that's just a 3/8 Allen socket. And we're going to go put this thing in gear so we can spin the engine over. I've already got the plugs out of it. Got the back end jacked up here. We'll put it in fifth just because it turns easier in fifth. Then we're going to turn the engine over until we can feel compression coming out of the front cylinder. Then you want to use probably a wooden dowel or a piece of plastic or something to go in there so you can feel where the piston is. Make sure it's the top dead center. Okay. Should be really close right there. So you've got two sets of timing marks on for the front cylinder. You got top dead center, and you've got front cylinder advanced timing mark. All right, we're almost perfectly there already. And you can see that little slash mark right there in the center. That is actually a slash cut in the flywheel there. That's your TDC mark. Then we're going to spin the wheel over, rear wheel just a little bit because we only need to go slightly. Now on this timing window, what you got is your one side of the window. You've got like a 4 degrees window in here. So if the slash is on this side, it's going to be 4 degrees advanced. If it's too far this way, it's going to be 4 degrees not advanced. Okay. So I'm going to move this thing just a hair. That should be almost perfect right there. Let me see. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good right there. Now what we need to do is already have this set. We're going to turn the key on so we'll have some power to it. Been using them for years and years and years. They just work really good. Dynatek, I really can't think of anybody else that makes one, but you know, just make sure that it's around 3 ohm coil. You know, you don't want to use a 5 ohm or a 0.7 or 1.5 or whatever. You know, in that range, 2.4 to 3.4 ohms. And the reason they give it, it'll say it's a 3 ohm coil, but you might stick your meter on there and test it, and it might be 3.2, 3.3, 2.8, whatever. That's a 3 ohm coil for all intents and purposes. Everything has a range on it. So Ignition runs good. They do have data logging in this thing, which I haven't used yet, but not on this one, but it's neat. And you can adjust RPMs, I think in 50 RPM, because on here your dip switches, you're at 6,000, 65, 7,000, 75, and I think that's all the range you got. Yeah, you got 6, 65, 7, and 7,500 RPM. But you know, say you want to set your RPM limit to 6,200. Well, it's adjustable on your laptop. And I don't know what the warranty is on this thing because I haven't really looked, but they've always been pretty good about warranty through Dynatek. Of course, that's years ago, so I know they got bought, but I don't know how the new company is now. I know they still make a good product, but you know, new management, you don't know what they change around. Or you probably don't know anybody that works there anymore. Used to know people that worked there, 25, 30 years ago, but people get old and they retire. Anyway, you don't want to hear about all that crap. So Ignition system, good setup. Like I said, they do have data logging in there. They do, what do you call that? How many times you hit the rev limiter, how long you're at the rev limit. This does have a high-speed retard in it. So if you're on a nitrous or a turbo or whatever, and you need to program in high speed, excuse me, I said that R word, didn't I? You want to run the high speed, not advanced. How's that? I don't know how to word it other than say the R word or not advanced. And you want, I don't know how to say it. You want to back the timing off. So it's not advanced, it's backed off. Can't believe that. Evidently, you can't even say it if it's in reference to timing, cam timing, ignition timing, whatever. That stuff just, man, just freaking pisses me the hell off. But and the truth is, this ignition system, when I looked up Ultima, which I wasn't going to buy an Ultima anyway, because I didn't buy that one to begin with, because I have had problems with them over the years. Not on my own bike, because I never bought one. That Ultimate that was on this came on this bike, and I guess it's a good cheap alternative, but like the keyword there is cheap. You get what you pay for. And I saw some ignition systems that were $50 for an ignition plate. Looks similar to this, but what kind of quality you can get with that? After dealing with Crane HI4s way back that failed, at least yearly. Crane was pretty good about it. They got to where you'd call them up and, guys got a crapped out Crane ignition. They just automatically send another one. Automatically, like overnight. So they were a good company about that. But, that being said, still sucks if guys out riding his bike and he's 400 miles away from home and it starts running on one cylinder or craps all altogether and leaves him stranded there. You don't want that. That could happen to any ignition system. It just seems like all these cranes did that stuff on a regular basis. Anyway, good ignition system. Infinitely adjustable, pretty much. You don't like with the timing where it's at. Like I said, they tell you to start off on curve 2, which is fine. I start off on curve 1, and then if it feels kind of strange, like I get a lot of pinging or something, I can flip it back down to curve 2, or I can leave it in curve 1 and not back the timing off on the plate here. So advanced, not advanced. Clockwise is advanced. Anti-clockwise or counterclockwise is not the R word. It's backed off. You back the timing off, so it's not as close to it's backed off. Anyway, that's it for this thing. I think it's coffee time, and go order some videos. I did just order a carburetor here a little bit ago, because this one's apparently leaking a little bit, and this is a carburetor I had to cobble together out of a couple different carburetors, because I didn't really have a good one, and it's dribbling gas, and I've already been through it 3-4 times, and I've replaced the float needle and polished needle seat, and saw a deal on Mikuni 42, not a real Mikuni, one of them Faco import Mikunis that says HSR 42, and it looks an awful lot like a Mikuni, but it isn't. Not for under $50, brand new. So I bought that thing. We'll see how it does on here. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great week. Guys, take care. Getting cooler out now.